Welcome to today's episode of Digital Narratives Unplugged, where we explore the fascinating world of digital storytelling and how it was evolved over the years. I'm your host, DK, and today we'll take a journey through time, from the early days of text-based narratives to the immersive interactive experiences we have today. We'll also explore emerging trends and talk about how digital storytelling has shaped the way we share stories. Let's dive right in. To begin, let's rewind to the late 1980s and 90s. This was a time when the concept of digital storytelling was just starting to take shape. Early digital stories were mainly text-based, shared through platforms like online forums and blogs. One significant development during this time was the rise of hypertext narratives. These stories allowed the readers to click on links that transported them to different sections of the story, introducing an element of interactivity. Though it was a simple beginning, it laid the foundation for more complex multimedia storytelling.
Welcome. You've got mail.
The familiar sound of early internet days. Back then, the use of multimedia was just starting to grow, with basic combinations of text, images, and sound. Early pioneers of digital storytelling explored how these elements could enhance the narrative experience, pushing boundaries in a digital world still in its infancy. As the internet expanded and technology advanced, so did the tools available for storytelling. The mid-2000s brought an explosion of platforms that blended text, audio, and video in new ways. Websites like Tumblr allowed users to curate multimedia stories, and of course, YouTube made video storytelling accessible to anyone with camera and internet connection. These platforms democratized storytelling. Anyone with an idea could share it with the world. Then, social media platforms like Instagram and Snapchat changed the game again. Stories became more visual and immediate. The concept of stories on Instagram, for example, created a new way for people to share their lives in short, disappearing clips. Storytelling was no longer just about written words, it was now about capturing and sharing moments in real time. At the same time, another major development in digital storytelling was taking place in the world of video games. Games like The Walking Dead and Detroit Become Human introduced interactive storytelling, where players' decisions directly influenced the plot. This new level of engagement transformed players from passive consumers into active participants, allowing them to shape the narrative based on their choices. Interactive storytelling didn't stop at games. Platforms like TikTok also encouraged users to interact with and build upon stories, remixing content, and creating collaborative narratives. This blurred the lines between creator and audience, giving rise to a new form of digital engagement. Now, let's talk about the present and future of digital storytelling. We are witnessing the rise of immersive technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence. These tools are completely transforming how we tell and experience stories. With VR, for instance, you are not just reading or watching a story, you are stepping into it. Imagine walking through a story world and interacting with characters in 3D space. Which brings us to today's special guest. I'm excited to welcome Ersultan, a foreign language teacher who has been incorporating digital storytelling into their classroom. Welcome, Ersultan, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Let's dive right in. How have you been using digital storytelling in your foreign language classes?
Digital storytelling has been a game changer for language learning. I found that when students create their own stories in the language they're learning, they engage more deeply with the material. We use tools like Storyboard or even simple video apps where students can narrate short stories which help them practice vocabulary and grammar in context.
That's fascinating. How do students respond to creating their own digital stories compared to more traditional assignments?
They love it. It gives them creativity freedom, and they often come up with incredibly imaginative stories. This also allows them to practice their speaking and writing skills in a way that feels more natural. For example, we recently worked on a project where students had to create a digital photo album and narrate it in their target language, describing their daily routines or family traditions. They were much more engaged than they would have been with a standard written assignment.
It sounds like digital storytelling makes the learning process more personal and interactive. That's awesome. But have you noticed any challenges when incorporating this into your lessons?
The main challenge is ensuring that the technology works smoothly and that all students are comfortable using it. Some students may struggle with certain tools at first, but once they get hang of it, they really thrive. I also try to balance digital storytelling with the more traditional methods so they're developing a range of skills.
That's a great point. It sounds like there is a lot of potential here for making language learning more dynamic. Do you think digital storytelling will become a biggest part of education in the future?
Absolutely. As the technology continues to evolve, I think we'll see more and more teachers incorporating digital storytelling into their classrooms, not just in language learning, but across the subjects. It's a powerful way to engage students and make learning more interactive.
Thank you so much, Ersultan, for sharing your insights. It's exciting to see how digital storytelling can transform education, and I'm sure our listeners will find it inspiring.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
As we've heard today, digital storytelling is shaping not only how we consume media, but also how we learn. Whether it's through interactive narratives, immersive VR, or creative classroom projects, storytelling continues to evolve and inspire. As we look to the future, it's clear that the possibilities are endless. Thank you for tuning in to Digital Narratives Unplugged. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and check out the next one where we will explore AI's role in creative content. I'm DK, and until next time, keep creating and keep telling us stories.